I don't like it. The phrase is brief and usually appears late. It doesn't respond to a specific fact or an external order. It arises when something stops fitting in. It's a weak signal, hard to explain, but it rarely appears without some basis. At over 8,000 meters, those kinds of perceptions are not minor. Oxygen is limited, fatigue builds up, and every decision has consequences. The summit is near, visible, almost within reach. And precisely because of that, giving up becomes more difficult. Viesturs, one of the great mountaineers, had a simple rule: reaching the summit is optional, returning is mandatory. On one expedition, he stopped. There was no obvious signal to head down. There was no storm or immediate danger, but something didn't fit. I don't see it clearly, he said, and he turned around. Others continued. In the high mountains, that difference changes everything. In other contexts, the same thing happens. Some decisions transform the future before it becomes obvious. Others fail because they wait for everything to be clear. The difference isn't usually in the amount of information, but in the ability to interpret signals. In the late 70s, Akio Morita, co-founder of Sony, proposed something extraordinary: a portable device for listening to music without recording or speakers. There was no demand, there were no data, but there was a signal. Time was beginning to fragment. Mobility was gaining weight, and music was ceasing to be static. The Walkman didn't respond to a clear need. It responded to a well-interpreted weak signal. That's the point. Today there's no lack of information, there's too much. Carl Weick explained that people don't just receive data, they interpret it, they construct meaning. Reality is ambiguous and fragmented. That's why distinguishing signal from noise is key. Noise is visible, immediate, and dominant. The signal is discrete and usually appears earlier, on the margins. Nassim Taleb sums it up well. The most important thing is usually what doesn't fit into our models. So, what to do in practice? First, slow down. Signals don't appear in a rush. Second, look at the peripheral, what is not yet dominant. Third, contrast. Observe if that perception is repeated. And fourth, maintain your own judgment, even without consensus. Reading signals isn't guessing the future, it's recognizing when the present begins to change. That's why the next time something doesn't quite fit, don't dismiss it. Stop, observe it, and learn to read the signs.